Hey YouTubers, it's me, Zipster. Welcome back to another edition of Nuts in the News. I got so many stories, so many crazy stories, I don't even know where to start today, let me tell you. First of all, let me thank all of you great people who are sending me these stories. You keep me laughing all day and night, and I want to send a special shout out to our southern correspondent, Tube Skank, who this for the second week in a row has one of her stories featured, on the news. I'll put a link to her channel over here. It's a crazy bitch if you want to check her out. Okay, we're going to start off in Great Britain. Of course, just so you know, all the crazies are not from the United States. 28-year-old Lithuanian man was arrested in Great Britain for assaulting a policewoman with, wait for it, his penis, okay? His name is Marian Vanaskas. His girlfriend called the police because he was like on a drunken rage and she was getting scared, so she calls the cops. Female cop shows up. She said he was sitting on the couch in his boxes when he started getting agitated, and he started flailing his penis at the officer's head. And he was fined 600 pounds, and he said he was profoundly embarrassed by the whole thing. Now, whenever I read something, be it a book or be it a newspaper article, I like to picture what's going on in my head. And I got a couple of questions about this. I don't understand. Okay, either this guy had a penis the size of a fire hose, or, number two, the police officer was a midget, or a little people, or a dwarf, or whatever they like to be called these days. Or else the police officer came in and the first thing she did was got on her knees and said, okay, now what's going on here? Because otherwise I just can't picture how this guy could be flailing around her head with his penis. And if it is the first, then I would like to inspect it and register it in the Guinness Book of Records, okay? Let's just put it at that. Nuts! Okay. Now, Dateline, New Jersey. Yeah, we always get good stories out of New Jersey. 6 women in New Jersey, according to what's the name? This is the big paper in New Jersey, the Star Ledger, Jersey's biggest daily newspaper, okay? They ran an article that 6 women had to be treated after botched enhancement surgery, okay? It seems these women wanted to have bust enhancement. So they went to this doctor, and he shot him up with silicone, only it was the kind of silicone that you used to caulk around your tub, okay? So they went to the hospital and they had to have surgery done and antibiotics and all this stuff. Now what I want to know is, okay, I have 3 questions or three observations, let's say, on this little story. First of all, there were 6 of them. I'm assuming they all went to the same guy. Why couldn't one of them remember his name so they could tell him and the authorities could, like, take this guy off the damn market or whatever? Number 2, where did they find this doctor? On Craigslist? And number 3, if ever, no matter what kind of enhancement you're going in for, if ever anyone comes at you with a caulk gun, forget your pride, get up and get the hell out of there immediately. I mean, run. And don't forget your panties. Nuts! Okay. Our last story of the day involves a German truck driver who was driving across western Sweden when his truck smashed into that cement median thing that separates the this way and that way. Okay, so when the police arrived, they discovered that the truck driver had his hand around his own gear shifter. You know what I'm talking about. The truck driver readily admitted that he had been masturbating while driving and lost concentration on the road. Unfortunately, he hadn't climaxed by the time his truck hit the barrier, and so he kept, while the police were interrogating him at the site of the accident. Okay, so now the police are suspecting he's on some kind of drugs, which, hello. Okay, once again, picturing this all in my mind, I'm saying to myself, okay, number 1, if he's on drugs, I would suggest the first thing to test for would be Viagra. Because, quite frankly, I've been horned in my day, a long time ago, but whatever. But I would assume, even if you were masturbating while you're driving, once your vehicle hits something, I would think it would pretty much diminish the feeling. Obviously, it didn't do anything to this guy. And I certainly, once I'm surrounded by a bunch of police, the last thing I want to do is sitting there, yanking it. Yeah. So yeah, I think there was definitely some Viagra involved in all this stuff. Anyway, he apologized profusely and said he was very embarrassed by the incident, and he was fined and his trucker's license was taken away. I'm telling you, nuts! Okay, join me next week for another edition of Nuts in the News. Thank you.